Dear students, welcome to the 22nd session, which is on the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, prescribed by the Mangalore University for 3rd semester BA Optional English, Paper 3 Victorian Literature. This is Vasantha Ravi Prakash, Associate Professor, Department of English, Purnapratna College, Udupi. This video highlights chapters 17 to 20. In the previous session, we have been exposed to the election fever at Eatanswill and the experiences of Pickwickians during the election time. From the story narrated by a bagman, we have understood the predatory nature of a widow who runs an inn. You have gained a fair idea regarding the snobbery of women belonging to Victorian era. You have come across the events which strengthened the bonding between Mr. Pickwick and his servant Sam Weller. You have seen Mr. Pickwick as a mentor, guide, and a well-wisher. Immediately after the hoax created by Job Trotter, Mr. Pickwick gets afflicted with rheumatism. Sam once again gives him moral support by entertaining him with anecdote and conversation. Mr. Pickwick recovers after 2 days and writes a tale of a provincial schoolmaster named Nathaniel Pipkin. The recovery of Pickwick tells us speedy recovery from ill health is possible if people around you are amiable and supportive. In the story, Nathaniel Pipkin falls in love with a pretty and rich girl named Maria Lobbs. Nathaniel expresses his love to Maria through signs, and she too responds, reciprocating the same gestures. Nathaniel feels jealous when he sees Kate with Maria. He also gets to know that Maria wants to marry her cousin, Henry. Maria invites Nathaniel for a tea party in a house when her father is away from home. Nathaniel feels disappointed when he understands that Maria has also invited her cousin, Mr. Henry, to the tea party. Meanwhile, Mr. Lobbs comes home suddenly and Nathaniel and Henry hide themselves in a closet. Later, Mr. Lobbs finds these two young men in his house and Nathaniel reveals his wish to marry Maria. But Maria's father, old Lobbs, consents to the marriage of Maria and Henry. Ironically, old Lobbs spends time with Nathaniel to exchange many things with him. Nathaniel endorses the witness signature in the marriage document of Maria and Henry. Nathaniel is unable to get over the disappointment, and on the night of the wedding of Maria, he is imprisoned in the village cage for being in a state of extreme intoxication. We understand that Maria exploits Nathaniel in order to fulfill a wish to marry Henry. This story explains how sometimes pretty and rich women exploit weakness of unimpressive men like Nathaniel Pipkin. Now we move to a scene in Mr. Pott's house. As mentioned earlier, Mr. Winkle gets into trouble as he was spending his time with Mrs. Pott in the absence of Mr. Pott. A local newspaper in Eatanswill publishes a poem which indicates an affair between Mr. Winkle and Mrs. Pott. Winkle is confronted with a raging Mr. Pott. Mrs. Pott turns hysterical and threatens Mr. Pott that she will leave home if Mr. Pott troubles Winkle. Mr. Pot calms down and asks Winkle to remain in the house. Mrs. Pot tells her husband to trash Mr. Slurp, the editor of the newspaper. Mr. Winkle decides to leave Mr. Pot's house to meet Mr. Pickwick at Bury St. Edmunds. Meanwhile, Mr. Wardle extends an invitation to the Pickwickians to visit him at Manor Farm over Christmas when they will celebrate Mr. Trundle's marriage with Isabella Wardle. This episode shows how mass media makes use of personal affairs for commercial benefits. Mr. Winkle meets Mr. Pickwick at Bury St. Edmund. Mr. Pickwick once again plays the role of a mentor and a guide by giving a lecture to Mr. Winkle on the impropriety of causing romantic turmoil when one is a guest. On the other hand, Mrs. Bardell sends a legal notice accusing Mr. Pickwick of breach of promise. Realizing the gravity of matter, Mr. Pickwick goes to London to seek legal advice. The Pickwickians have many awkward encounters with women. Ironically, when Pickwick was advising Mr. Winkle how one should behave as a guest, receives a legal notice from Mrs. Bardell. Mr. Pickwick was innocent about the world around him, and his words were misinterpreted by Mrs. Bardell. Sports is a great recreation for the Pickwickians. The Pickwickians, Wardle and Trundle, go for hunting. Due to his illness, Mr. Pickwick does not participate in hunting. Mr. Wardle arranges to take him in a wheelbarrow to the hunting spot. Tupman by fluke hits a partridge and gets appreciation from Mr. Wardle. While everyone settles down for lunch, Mr. Pickwick drinks excessively and falls asleep. Others leave him there and go for hunting. Unfortunately, the neighbor of the premises sees Pickwick in an intoxicated condition and asks the servant to wheel Pickwick to town. When Mr. Pickwick awakes, he finds people surrounding him and feels extremely embarrassed. Dickens shows how alcoholism and intoxication is a matter of concern in the society. Pickwick's reputation gets spoiled unnecessarily even though he did not have an intention to trouble others. Mr. Pickwick meets Dodson and Fogg in their office. Pickwick and Sam overhear the clerks talking about Fogg's corrupt practices. Mr. Pickwick learns that he has to pay £1,500 as compensation for the alleged damage he has caused to Mrs. Bardell. He obtains a writ against him and later he goes to meet his lawyer, Mr. Perker. Once again we see that Mr. Pickwick is clueless about how the world works against him. Later, Pickwick and Sam meet Sam's father at an inn. Mr. Weller confesses to Sam that he regrets his second marriage. Sam tells his father that he was terribly hurt when Job Trotter fooled him. When Sam and Mr. Pickwick go in search of Perker, they meet Perker's clerk, Mr. Louchen, who invites them to join him and his friends for the evening. Dickens in this chapter, through Mr. Weller's example, shows how marriages are at times not rosy as imagined. Dear students, here we come to the end of the 22nd session. Thank you.